Welcome. You're tuned to the Urban Affairs program. It's time to get up for Urban Perspectives with your host, Pete Rhodes.
Welcome, you're watching Urban Perspectives. I'm your host, Pete Rhodes. This edition is sponsored in part by UCare, the High School for Recording Arts, and the Children's Theater Company. On this episode, we'll spotlight the creation of successful community and career services. Meet the executive director of the High School for Recording Arts, the founder and CEO of Tanson Corporation, and the CEO of the faith-based nonprofit Urban Ventures. Learn about these amazing resources in our communities right here on this edition of Urban Perspectives. My first guest has a BA in Political Science from Rutgers University School of Law. He is the current executive director of the High School for Recording Arts, an independent public charter school located in St. Paul, Minnesota. Their mission is to provide youth the opportunity to achieve a high school diploma in music business and other creative endeavors. Here's a look at the High School for Recording Arts Music Career Services. Tony, thank you so much for being here. The school is fantastic. You got a new location now, yes. And I'm sure you're happy about that as well.
Very much so. Yeah. It's exciting, right on the Green Line light rail.
Yeah, right there for you. So talk to us a little bit and tell the audience how and what is the High School for Recording Arts and what its mission is.
Well, you kind of mentioned it in the intro. We provide youth the opportunity to earn their high school diploma through the exploration and operation of the music industry and other creative endeavors. But really, when you come into our school, it's just bustling with creative energy.
Yeah.
What we're really trying to do is give young people a world-class education while at the same time really tapping into their creative best selves and showing them how to use that in a way that they could really provide a career for themselves in this incredible new economy that is valued so much around creativity.
Yeah, it really is. With new technologies and ways to get the music now, it's a whole different ball game, and even producing music now is a whole different ball game, and not to mention the business of all of this, whole different ball game.
Right, and I know you know that High School for Recording Arts, we've been around a long time, since 1998, and we really came out of the incredible music scene, the Minneapolis sound, hip-hop music situation that blew up around
Prince,
the world.
Jam and Lewis,
yes, all of those guys.
Yeah.
And David T.C. Ellis, the founder, he really had a vision when he started to notice that a lot of young people were highly motivated to learn more about that, learn more about how to get their music out, how to really build a career in that space, yet they weren't going to school.
Oh, I see.
So he said, well, why not create a school that really builds upon their assets, and that's what we did.
Yeah, well, he comes from a creative family as well as Sister Sue Ann's a great writer, was a great performer and singer in the early days as well. We love him dearly.
Yes.
What career opportunities does the school provide overall? Again, you talked a little bit about the overall creative piece, but in terms of courses.
Right. Well, we're the High School for Recording Arts, so certainly young people have the opportunity to learn all about everything regarding the recording arts there, whether it's audio engineering, production, performance. We have an incredible video production program. But like you mentioned earlier, business is a huge side of this. I mean, the music industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and allowing our young people to take courses where they're able to not only learn the core learning areas, math, English, social studies, and science, but tap that into their creative selves and see how they could put all those things together, be entrepreneurial, and create something that is really marketable.
Yeah. So now, how do you attract, Tony, students for the school over there?
Sure. First, just through word of mouth. I mean, young people are very excited about our school. When they come into there, they see that we're valuing them, we respect them, they're allowed to, again, find their creative selves. But in addition to that, we do a lot of things with community partners. Our students have a radio show every Friday night on KMOJ, and it features their music, and they produce the show. we've had a lot of opportunity to have projects around the Twin Cities that obviously excite young people, excite their families, and that's a great way that we're able to get young people into our school.
You guys are turning out stars over there too. I wanted to ask you what projects have helped propel the high school recording arts and made it popular, because I know Slim is out of there, and some other. He's really hitting it off right now.
Oh, yes.
A lot of great things are happening out of there.
Yeah, very much so. Again, you know, for us, we want our young people to understand how does that creativity, how can it lend itself to real world, authentic projects.
Yeah.
So we partner with a lot of people. Like, for example, one of our biggest partners has been State Farm.
Mm-hmm.
We've created campaigns for them around the primary seatbelt law.
Mm-hmm.
We're credited with helping really pass that law in Minnesota that saved countless of lives. And some local businesses such as Lube Tech has been a huge partner with us in terms of allowing us to create media content for them. So, you know, projects, whether it's the 26-second campaign with State Farm, which was a national campaign. Every 26 seconds a young person drops out. Our students were the thought leaders around that national campaign.
Fantastic.
LeBron James was the national spokesperson.
Yeah.
Those are the things that I believe you're speaking of.
Yeah. So now, as executive director of the High School Recording Arts, what is your plan to continue to attract students to the program and to let partners be a part of what you're doing?
Right. Well, like you also mentioned, we have a new building, and we're excited that we're about to extend that building and build upon it. We're creating a brand new gymnasium that's going to be NCAA regulation size basketball court. That's going to be incredible in terms of really expanding our program. We have an incredible video production space that is right now really our new recording industry focus.
Yeah, okay.
And that's really exciting young people. The radio show I mentioned is about to be very similar to how we are sitting here. We're about to make that into a video program that's going to be shown on YouTube and all over the country.
That's great.
Featuring our students' music, and
a lot of great things.
We know that's going to be very exciting for them.
Well, thank you so much, Tony Simmons. Keep up the great work over there at High School for Recording Arts.
Well, thank you so much.
Weekly here on Urban Perspectives, we present Shining Stars, highlighting people, places, and events that contribute to the vibrancy of the urban community. Our Shining Star this week is an actor, musician, and spoken word artist. His acting credits include Boys from Syracuse, Almost Maine, and Bully. He is currently playing Dylan in the Children's Theater Company world premiere stage version of Aquila and the Bee. Meet our Shining Star, hometown talent, Sean Finney.
I'm Sean Finney, and I played Dylan in Aquila and the Bee. Back when I went to this church, I used to do the plays and / musicals that they did, and I've just been doing those. And then around middle school, I just kind of quit. I actually did a musical in 8th grade. I did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I went to a performing arts school because I heard that was like a really cool place. And once I got there, it's just perfect. Then my first show that I did that wasn't like run by a school or anything was at YPC, and I did Junie B. Jones, Jingle Bells, Batman Smells in like sophomore year, and then from there I've just been looking for shows to do, and I love it. It's so fun. I love acting. Dylan's a really mean guy. He's kind of he's the villain that, you know, he turns into a nice guy at the end, basically, and yeah, he's just really mean, but in the end, it's like he gets saved and becomes a good guy. Being part of Aquila and the Bee, being a world premiere on stage, this is such an opportunity. Like, I don't know how I even really got this part. It just kind of happened, and I'm just so thankful that it's happening and I'm here. You should definitely pay attention to what all the characters say, because every character has some vital thing they have to say, whether it be just funny or mean, and it can be somewhat relatable in your life. And yeah, you should just be looking for a nice little storyline that'll warm your heart. You should definitely come see Aquila and the Bee at Children's Theater Company. It's going to be quite a ride. My name is Sean Finney. I will be playing Dylan in Aquila and the Bee, and you're watching Urban Perspectives.
Thank you so much, Sean. When we return, hear an amazing entrepreneurial story of resilience and success in realizing the American dream. Meet Prema Patil next on Urban Perspectives.
Hey everyone, if you're a high school student who's interested in audio engineering, producing, or singing, you name it, we got it. High School for Recording Arts, the place for you, design your education.
Think about it. Science,
Technology,
basketball,
or just plain being you. To learn more,
visit us in person or on our website at www.hsra.org.
HSRA, design your own education and be the real you. Family, respect, community, and education.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Everything seems very dark. Doesn't seem to be a lot of hope. Walking in that light, the night light, I couldn't help but contrast that to what it feels like to stand or to walk across a bridge at night with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. I know it's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer and fewer gold lanterns. To have all those people out there together holding lights, walking together, there was nobody there who was alone. Your lantern will make a difference. It will be a little brighter on that night because you and the team you created brought your lanterns. Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Welcome back to Urban Perspectives. My next guest grew up working in her father's perfume business in India. Beginning at the age of 10, entrepreneurship came naturally. Now, as founder and CEO of the successful Tanson Corporation, an IT staffing firm, she believes effective leadership is the ability to rise to the challenge amid uncertain and complex conditions. Please welcome to Urban Perspectives, Prema Patil. Prema, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, Pete, for having me here.
Well, I'm so glad to have you here because we always see each other at the various NC,
Events, yeah.
MSDC events and other events around the Twin Cities because I note that you are always engaged, and I'm sure that's part of what you do in your company. So let's start talking about your company and what is the Tanson Corporation for those who don't know, and more importantly, how do you distinguish your company from other services?
So Tanson Corporation, we call ourselves talent experts.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at the end of the day, we want to bring the best talent to corporations to do good work.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's face it, you know, we all need to have best people on the bus, right? So we're innovative, we're creative, and we harness the best technology people out in the marketplace.
Yeah, so that's the difference because we see a lot of IT services out there, but like you said, harnessing the best of the best
Correct.
is what makes you best.
Exactly, and
Fair.
we're proud of that.
Yeah, that's great, great. So now the Tanson Corporation was recognized just recently, and we were there as Supplier of the Year for 2015. Now, how did that achievement come about? Who inspired you for it as well?
Oh my God, this is so personal for me.
Yeah.
Because ever since I was little, grown up in an entrepreneur family, it was my dream to have a business that is successful.
Yeah.
So when we got the award, that meant a whole lot for a small business.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, for small business, it is not your bottom line. It's, you know, events like this or moments like this that
Yeah.
make you a shining star.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it was our honor. And we got awarded by two major corporations in Twin Cities and Mayo Clinic.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, they're amazing to work with. For working with Mayo Clinic, we've learned so much. Every day they raise the bar higher on us. and they have elevated us little by little every day.
Yeah, that's great.
Right.
That's great. And the other one was
U.S. Bank.
Was U.S. Bank. Yeah. Yeah.
And they provide an opportunity for small business like us, like an environment where we can grow.
Yeah.
So I think it's amazing to work with U.S. Bank and Mayo Clinic and be recognized that, we are doing very well with them.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Now, how do you attract, Patil, the qualified staffing that you have? How do you attract them? And as well the clientele like the Mayo Clinics and the U.S. Banks?
So basically we do a lot of networking. We do attend a lot of the events like like National Minority Development Council and women-owned corporations. They usually are the main focus where we attend those events. And the main part is where you perform, right?
I see.
Right. When you perform well and the corporations hear about it, spread it. Yeah, word of mouth.
Yeah, that's great. That is fantastic. Now, what are some of the keys? Because you have been very successful. So talk to us about some of the keys of success, particularly in this male-dominated IT staffing environment.
Yeah, this can go on and on, but I'll keep it simple. In this industry, I think, as in life, we always are facing adversity.
Yes.
But the main reason that we are successful is, we are innovative, we are creative, and we are like change agent because we can change quickly because we are a small business.
I see.
So we compete on 3 things mainly, like pricing, our quality, and our timeline kind of stands out than our competition. So I think we are far ahead in that game.
Right.
And we recognize that, it's very important for timeline and quality and, your pricing should be, up there.
Right. The timeline is so important. Being there when the client really needs you to be there.
Correct.
And following through on what they need within their time frame.
Exactly.
I'm sure that's one of the main keys of your overall success, as you mentioned. Now, as a female, what advice would you give, as a woman, shall I say, what advice would you give persons seeking career opportunities in today's fields as they are now becoming more technical? What would you say to someone who is actually seeking a career now?
First and foremost, I think one has to figure out what they're really good at, right? So we all have our own geniuses in us. So I think bringing out the genius in you and the greatness in you would be your number 1 strength. Yeah. Number 2 would be confident and set some goals for your career, what you really want to do and where you want to go with it, right?
Okay.
And number 3 is like attend events.
It's always good.
Yeah, attend events and network with your peer members. And number 4 is very important is in your resume, you need to show that you're a person of integrity. Managers love that because they want to rely on you. They want to know that you're the person they can count on for a project to be done, right? And show that you're resilient. You're not going to fail or you're not going to give up on that project and,
You make it from there?
Yeah.
Well, Patil, Prema, you've done a fantastic job. As I see at these events, certainly networking, I think, is the key because I can watch you and you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you so much, Pete.
Thank you
it
so
was
much,
a pleasure
Prema.
being here.
Thank you, thank you. Coming up next, you can meet with me, the CEO of the Urban Ventures, whose expertise as a financial advisor helps this local faith-based nonprofit create a winning organization combating generational poverty in South Minneapolis. Meet Timothy Clark right here on Urban Perspectives.
Get up for Urban Perspectives with your host, Pete Rhodes.
We have to continue to be committed to, as you're doing with Urban Perspectives, documenting the voices of our people and being intentional about our people, our communities, our young people, telling their own stories.
There are so many amazing people and positive stories in our cities. Watch for them on Urban Perspectives Sunday mornings at 5:30 on WCCO Channel 4.
Hey everyone, if you're a high school student who's interested in audio engineering, producing or singing, you name it, we got it. High School for Recording Arts, the place for you, design your education.
Think about it. Science,
Technology,
basketball,
or just plain being you. To learn more,
visit us in person or on our website at
hsra.org. HSRA, design your own education and be the real you. Family, respect, community, and education.
you're still at it. You still have all the right moves. Still embracing the moment. Still have that sense of adventure. Welcome to UCare. We've been expecting you.
Learn more about our Medicare plans at ucareplans.org. UCare, healthcare that starts with you.
Thank you for joining us here on Urban Perspectives. Here's a fact. In South Minneapolis, unemployment is 6 times the Minnesota average. 70% of students of color drop out of high school. 62% of the households are single parent, and 98% of students qualify for free or reduced lunch. Now, Urban Ventures, a faith-based nonprofit, strives to break the cycle of generational poverty in South Minneapolis with a holistic approach that is celebrated as a national model. Here to explain how it works, welcome to Urban Perspectives, Timothy Clark. Tim, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you know, I read your bio. You have such a unique experience as a global investing and broad financial expertise. How'd you come to Urban Ventures?
You know, I grew up as an executive at Cargill. Okay, grew up through the Cargill family and chain. And I think the legacy and history of community service that the Cargill Corporation places on all of its employees certainly took hold to me and our family. Then when it became the opportunity for us to be able to have a personal and family calling to help others help themselves, it was a natural fit as Urban Ventures was looking for a leadership transition and to really graciously move with its founder, Art Erickson, into more of the founder role.
Yeah, Art's done a fantastic job,
He's done
and you guys have remained in that spot, and you've made that spot just glow.
We really have. When you look at it at 4th and Lake, you know, we have 9 buildings there, 2 soccer fields, a great building, the Colin Powell Youth Leadership Center that we partner with Cristo Rey Jesuit High School, 8 other buildings that we do programming. We serve 5,000 members of the community directly, but 15,000 members through our strategic partners, and we're very proud of that.
So I was going to just ask you, and you probably gave it most of it away there, but how does the Urban Venture approach kind of breaking that generational cycle of poverty in communities like South Minneapolis?
Well, Pete, one thing we find is that as we talk about poverty, that most people see it only as financial poverty. And when we look not just in South Minneapolis, but the Twin Cities region as a whole, we see poverty much broader, and the symptoms that we need to see, whether it be parental poverty, educational and employment poverty, academic poverty, poverty of community, multi-generational, multiracial and ethnic groups coming together to solve community problems. And then lastly, the poverty of hope, the context of building hope and dignity in people to help themselves. All those things circle around a holistic approach for Urban Ventures to do that work.
Now, we've heard the numbers. What are some of the successes that we can point to that Urban Ventures has made a national model out of?
Well, that holistic approach allows us to say of the 87,000 people in the Twin Cities who are living below the financially poverty line, we're serving 1 in 5 of those today on our campus. Our goals are to actually serve 2 of 5 of those, or 40% of those, not all on our campus, but also in areas in North Minneapolis and St. Paul. What we find is over half of our program participants come from other areas than South Minneapolis. So what we're doing is exporting our assets and talents, whether it be curriculum, facilitators, food, our youth and sports programs, to other areas and to other organizations that may have and are great in some areas, and then we can basically fill in the gaps in areas that we may excel in.
Amazing job, man. How does the Urban Ventures partner, because I know you have a lot of partners, how do you partner with the industry to create those opportunities for the community as well?
Well, we look at it, first of all, employment is a huge piece of it. And we have just in the last year provided 230 jobs through our employment partners. That's producing about $5 million a year in annual wages you start extrapolating that year on year, and you can see the growth and the change, that the numbers that you referenced can change drastically and quickly. But those employment partners are a very important part of the process, okay, that they understand, the character building and the clientele that we work with, and that character building goes alongside with the context of employment and building from an initial wage to an actual livable wage.
Exactly. Yeah, well, that's fantastic. That in particular, the livable wage, getting to that, starting in the employment and working up to where you really need the dollars to take care of family, makes it go further in terms of what you've learned to get out of that poverty-stricken mentality.
It really does. The other way we do it in a national model is through our social enterprise. We have a coffee company, City Kid Java, that is very successful and profitable in its own right in providing dollars to our organization and the community. But most importantly, we've now expanded that into other products and a farming and food initiative that we can provide not only food distribution to North and South Minneapolis, but we're providing significant number of jobs, okay, through the 30,000 pounds of food that we will distribute this summer.
That's amazing. Now, I know you do something annual each year. What is it and how does it help?
Well, what we do is a little bit non-traditional, is that we bring everybody to our campus, to South Minneapolis at 4th and Lake. And this year we're actually having Damon John of Shark Tank come and really provide a story of empowerment and entrepreneurship of how his life and how he has seen the Urban Ventures programs come together in a holistic fashion.
We'll talk more about it and tag it on our site. Thank you so much, Tim.
Thank you, Pete. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching Urban Perspectives. I'd like to thank our sponsors as well, UCare, the High School for Recording Arts, Children's Theater Company, my guests and our shining star, and you, of course, the audience for getting up, making Urban Perspectives Emmy nominated. Visit our website at urbanperspectives.tv for information on our guests and for links for previous broadcasts, and help us grow. Like our Facebook and post your comments on the show. Remember, there are so many amazing people and positive stories in our cities. Watch for them right here on Urban Perspectives. Enjoy the photos of the week now with the 7th Restaurant 7th Anniversary Gala. I'm Pete Rhodes, and I'll see you next week.